Is it the end of the line for Rio, and have you spoken to him yet?
I've tried to speak to him. I'm very disappointed that the stories come out like that, of course, and I apologise to him and will apologise to him, because there's no way I would ever indicate that I wasn't going to use a player in that way. But the thing is that I didn't choose him in the squad this time, and it's really just for the same reasons as before. You know, we have other players, but certainly I'm not suggesting it's the end of the line. I would never dream of telling a player when it's the end of the line or the end of the road or whatever I'm supposed to have said. That's up to every player to decide for himself, and hopefully that won't be the case. And when I speak to Rio, I'll make it clear to him that I've not selected him in this squad. Who knows whether I'll select him in the next one or not, but it will be up to him to decide if I ever do go to him, whether he wants to be a part of it or not.
In terms of John Terry, what's your reaction to his ban? And if he were to change his mind about international retirement, would you in future be allowed to pick him, given that he at this stage has been found guilty?
The thing about John is I said really what I wanted to say when I was obliged, of course, to make a statement when he retired from international football. It's a decision I regret, because he did well for me as a national coach during my short time working with him, and of course he's had a long career for England, but it's a decision which I respect and accept, and as a result it's important for me now to look to the future. You know, the games in Brazil, if we're lucky enough to get there through the qualification, they're in 2 years' time. So as far as I'm concerned, all I can do really is thank John for the time I spent with him and the matches he played for me, and to wish him well in his Chelsea career. But I'm not prepared to speculate on any further developments, and furthermore I think it might be the time, hopefully soon, to close that chapter as well, because we have other members of the squad, players who are going to hopefully help us qualify in these coming games, and I'd much rather, as a coach of course, concentrate on the ones that are in the squad and playing than ones who for one reason or another are not in the squad or not playing.
What exactly do you want to apologise to Rio for? What exactly did you say last night on the tube, and why did you say it?
I didn't say it last night on the tube. It was actually Wednesday afternoon, if you want to be 100% correct. And what I remember saying to talking to quite a lot of people on the tube, and one guy who said, is Rio in the next squad? And I think I might have said, I don't think so, but I think that's about as far as I went. But I shouldn't say that, of course, that's a mistake, and I need to apologise for that. But this is one of the hazards, I suppose, of travelling on tube trains when you go up to London, which is the best way for me to travel, and then of course speaking to people on the tube train who ask me questions rather than sitting there tight-lipped refusing to ever open my mouth. I've paid for it. I shall learn in future, and maybe this will be a lesson for all people who see me on the tube in the future. Please don't be too offended if I refuse to answer any questions you ask me.
Can I just ask you about the squad, the players that are in it?
Oh, that would be nice.
Fraser Forster, Kieran Gibbs, Ryan Shawcross and Aaron Lennon spring to mind in terms of new faces.
Yeah, they're three new faces. Obviously Gibbs and Jenkinson have done exceptionally well for Arsenal, and in fact Jenkinson was a player that we thought a lot about as well on this occasion, but we decided we didn't have quite that many places, but he's certainly a player we'll think about for the future because he's doing well. And Gibbs, I think, has started the season exceptionally well, which also applies for Aaron Lennon and Ryan Shawcross. I mean, I think that they are players that we need to see at closer hand. I see them from the stands, but it would be nice to have a chance to work with them and see, how they could contribute, if you like, to the team we're trying to build up. And, it's got to be some sort of rejuvenation process in the England team. There's always going to be some changes when a new coach comes in, and we are very much aware that Brazil is 2 years down the road if we're good enough to get there. And in 2 years we need to have a pretty close look at some of the players who up to now have not had a chance to show what they can do, and who maybe in a couple of years' time will be the real stars in the Premier League.
You touched on the two people who you can't have, but one you can't have, one you've chosen not to have in the dressing room. They were both leaders. Are you confident that in this lot there are plenty of leaders to take their place?
Well, certainly at the moment we have. I mean, we have Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard, who I suppose are the captain, the vice captain, and also we have people like Michael Carrick and Jagielka, Lescott, Ashley Cole. We have Glenn Johnson. We have quite a lot of experienced players in the team, and certainly in Parker and Gerrard, I think everyone would agree with me that you've got two leader-type figures there who both regularly captain their teams. who knows in 2 years' time what team we're going to have, and who knows which of these younger players are going to emerge as leaders. But one can only hope that there will be one or two who at the moment are probably in the early stages of their Premiership careers and international careers, but we've only got to hope that they will also emerge with the same leadership qualities as John and Rio and Stephen and Frank.